Sagozewakwego. Hi everybody, my name is Erica. I am Mohawk from Tyendinaga Mohawk Territory, where I work at Jijinhat Ungwawana Language and Cultural Center. Today I'm going to show you how to make a strawberry painted rock. So the materials you'll need for this activity are, of course, a rock, acrylic paints. I have 5 colors here. You don't need to use all of these if you don't want to. You'll need something to put the paint on. I usually use an old margarine lid or something. Some Mod Podge, which is like a sealer to go over at the end so your rock will be waterproof and you can put it out in the garden if you want. And then some toothpicks, paintbrush, and I've got a nice fancy paint sponge here, but you don't need to use that. You can use a paintbrush if that's all you've got on hand. All right. So our first step is going to be painting a base coat on the rock. So I'm going to use white to kind of help create an even base and make the rest of the colors pop. And you'll notice that my rock doesn't look like a perfect strawberry, and that's okay, because when we buy strawberries at the grocery store or when we grow them in our garden, they don't all come out the same shape and size. They're all different. So just use your imagination and, look at it from different angles and you'll find where it looks the most like a strawberry. So I'm just going to start painting, and you can paint just the front of your rock or you can paint the whole thing. It's totally up to you. So when you're happy with your base coat, you'll just want to leave it to dry for a little while until it's completely, like, it's dry to the touch before you add your next coat. So my rock has had some time to dry. I ended up doing a second base coat just because it was kind of a dark color, so I wanted to create a more even tone. So our next step is to add on our red color. And again, you can choose to paint over your whole rock or just the front. Okay. So once again, you'll want to leave your rock to dry for a little while in between coats of paint. My red paint is dry now. I did end up adding another coat just to make the color a little bit deeper. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to start with the leaves. So just around the end that is the top of your strawberry, just try to, like, you know what strawberry leaves look like. They're kind of a little bit spiky. Right? So something like that. I'm not the most artistic, but I think it looks all right. Now I'm going to show you how I'll do the seeds. So I'm going to start with black. And I'm going to use one of these toothpicks I've got. And I'm just going to sort of dab them on. And I'm going to set this aside to dry again for a little while. I'm ready for my final step now. I'm going to add some highlights to the seeds with yellow paint. So again, I'm going to use a toothpick. So I'm just going to let this dry one more time before we add on the Mod Podge to seal it over. My last coat of paint is it's dry to the touch now. So I'm ready to add my coat of Mod Podge. When you're pouring it, just make sure you don't shake it or anything. You don't want any bubbles in it. You want a nice smooth coat. And you want to try and coat it as evenly as possible as well. So now that I'm finished adding that coat on, I'm gonna let it cure for 4 weeks. That's according to the directions on the bottle. I thought I'd show you guys my rock. The Mod Podge has cured for a little while. It's not fully cured yet, but you can see it's dried nice and clear, and you can see all the colors really vibrantly. So I'm really excited for you all to try this activity. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have fun with it. Yawangoa, Unigiwahi.